live.
Oh my God, it's Tuesday, folks, and you know what that is. It's time for the Tony Talk Show. Now, before we do introductions, we figured that since Tuesdays is always dedicated to Tony, we got tired of just...
live. We just went live.
We've been live.
Okay. It just popped up on my end.
That's why I started talking.
It just popped up on my end. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, take two.
Welcome, everyone, to Tuesday Talks with Tony. We're going to be getting busy. We brought her in early on the show because since Tuesdays is her day, we said, why go through all the formalities of doing the intro and just bring her on in. So, Tony, the show.
And he left because you're Brian Bacchus and I'm not.
So everybody knows who everybody is by now. So we're just going to skip the formalities and go right into Jamal doing the announcement.
All right, here we go. Take this off. Do this.
And of course, I didn't go live over there because we did take two.
I know, my bad.
Now we're live on Instagram.
Yeah, that was weird because on mine, I was like, okay, I don't see the little thing that popped up. Anyhow, first thing we're going to talk about is the Builders Town Hall put on by Altadena Talks Foundation. This again is this coming up Saturday. It is going to be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Join us for informative, engaging, and empowering Builders Town Hall. This is where you can get all your questions answered. You get to talk to builders live and direct and, get a feel for what the next steps are after phase 2. It's going to be at Victory Bible Church at 1497 North Hill Avenue in Pasadena. You can register by scanning the QR code, or you can actually go to altadenatox.org/Builders Town Hall. And again, we're bookending the announcements with this, so I'll show it one more time in a moment. This is the thing that's kind of going on right now, the open session board meeting up at Altadena Chamber of Commerce. They're going to have the Army Corps of Engineers colonel there. They're going to have executive director of Altadena's Resilience Project, CEO of Hope Ventures, and community service liaison. Started at 9:30, it's going right now. So if you get a chance, maybe you can listen to us while you go up there and kind of do two things at the same time. The information you can actually get from altadenachamber.org. There's also a senior breakfast. It is going to be Wednesday, March 5th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Pasadena Church. And again, I cut that off. I apologize, guys. I think it's 425 East Sierra Madre Villa in Pasadena. I think this is the same one that we had a flyer for before, where they were doing something on Saturdays. To RSVP, email mwhite@neighborhoodservants.com or call at 626-483-0401. There's going to be an insurance expert Q&A. That's going to be Thursday, March 6th. From 8 till 9 p.m. It's going to be on Zoom. The specialist is Francisco Vega. He's COO of Service Master Restoration Services. He's an expert in insurance vendor management and has 17 years as an adjuster and trainer at major carriers. You can scan the QR code to sign up. The LA County Household Relief Grant Program, you can apply now, and the deadline is March 12th. These are grants up to $18,000, and you would go to lacountyrelieffund.com. The next slide, I actually go into a little more detail for you guys. The breakdown is households of 2 or less, you can get a maximum of $6,000, and that's basically a household consisting of 1 or 2 members, including individuals living alone or couples with dependents. For the $12,000, it's households of 3 or more, and that's households with at least 3 people, where at least one person is a dependent minor or a dependent adult. And for multi-generational households, that's where you can get up to $18,000, and that's households with at least 4 people that include dependent minors and or dependent adults, and consist of at least 3 separate generations. A little Star at the bottom, this program defines a household as all people who occupy a housing unit, such as a house or apartment, as their usual place of residence. And another key item is only one grant will be awarded to each address. And again, the maximum amount of relief funds an affected address can receive from this program is $18,000. But again, if you go to the LA Relief Fund link, it'll have all that information on it. So we go to Union Station Homeless Services. They still are providing some free pickup stuff on Wednesdays from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can get kits with hygiene products, toiletries, deodorants, menstrual products, toothpaste, and toothbrushes. You can get new bedding, towels, and clothing, full-size body wash, bars of soap, shampoo, and conditioners, shelf-stable foods and snacks, and sack lunches. Baby items such as diapers, wipes, and formulas, and there will be assorted gift cards as well. And this you can go to 412 South Raymond Avenue in Pasadena. And for information, you can reach out at eatonfire@ushs.org. Found this one out. This is kind of cool. This is where you can actually, I'll just read it. Lose your home in an Eaton fire? Well, we'll help you do up to 6 regular loads for free. So every Wednesday evening from 5:30 to 8:30, Fair Oaks Laundry at 1344 Fair Oaks Avenue in Pasadena, they're providing you the ability to get free laundry for that time frame. Go ahead and give a phone call at 818-246-2476. And you know what? There's a link. I'll add that next time for tomorrow so you guys can actually utilize it. But you have to block out the time, but it is free. I thought that was a pretty cool thing. World Central Kitchen is serving free hot meals at certain locations. Again, they're also offering portable water stations and offering farmers markets. The 2 locations for us are the Pasadena Sierra Madre YMCA at 611 East Sierra Madre Boulevard in Sierra Madre, and Gordy's Garage Parking Lot at 843 West Woodbury Road in Altadena. Each location is open from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then again from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. The Disaster Relief Claim Assistance is open from Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and Fridays from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. This is at the Jackie Robinson Community Center at 1020 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Pasadena. The critical dates, American Red Cross has that deadline is passed. So for FEMA registration or the Small Business Association registration, those deadlines are the 10th of March. And then the Army Corps of Engineers for the right of entry form, that deadline is the 31st of March. And you can scan these codes if you want to go ahead and register for those. And the disaster recovery centers are available from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. And remember, you can also get your permitting and planning done there. And this is at 540 West Woodbury Road in Altadena. And with that, we bookend the announcements with the Builder Town Hall again. It's Saturday, 11 to 2 at Victory Bible Church, 1497 North Hill in Pasadena. And with that, I'm going to bring Tony back in and let her kind of take it from here.
Thanks, Jamal. And thank you for opening and bookending that or closing that portion of it with the town hall. Just as a quick update, we have 96 people registered this morning. Yesterday morning, we were at 60 or something like that, or 64. And then midday was 75, but right now I just checked and we're at 96. So that's excellent. I will be ordering sandwiches today from Perry. So I'm going to try sandwiches. So I'll order to make sure that everyone has a nice sandwich when they're there. It will be a variety: tuna, chicken, roast beef, turkey, and veggie. Because I know Lent starts tomorrow, so some people may not want to eat meat, but they can have the tuna or the veggie. Others that want to eat meat can. And I thank Perry for working with us as, trying to work on catering this. I do not have a guest today. We're so close to the town hall. I told him, don't worry about it. It was Ariel Babikian, but I told him not to worry about it. We're going to just go over his stuff on Saturday. And again, he is the builder who builds in Armenia, and I need to find a video. Maybe I can find this video and put it in the link. Let me look for it real quick. And if so, put it in our internal chat. And if I find it, then I'll give it to you guys. And you can kind of just show a little bit of what Ariel does when I say alternative and how he builds with steel. I think we had a discussion at 4:00 this morning. Thank you, Brian, for texting that early, or 4:30. But the crazy part is I was up and replied back immediately.
I know. I was like, dang,
that was
okay.
weird. I saw that. I was like, wait a minute, what time?
Why are they texting?
Nah, I put the phone back down. I was like,
I'm an early bird. So
is it 8:30?
Right. Good Lord.
But I laughed because I was like, that's funny because I'm actually up and texting him right back. And I said, he's going to be like, Tony, what are you doing? But
no, I just went right with it.
So there's a link, Jamal. I don't know if you can bring that up or not, but this is the design
of safety product.
Homes of Hope is an initiative of the Armenian Relief and Development Association to replace the shanty homes that cover the Armenian countryside with dignified, resilient homes that meet Western building standards. Arta identified a family in need with the resourcefulness and willpower to rise above their circumstances if given the opportunity.
Yeah, we can hear it. We just need to go full screen.
Build a new life for his wife, 2 kids, and his mother. A collaboration among Arta, Formfound Design, and Orange Coast College was forged to meet the challenge of designing the home. To make the project truly international, Arta was able to pay the tuition of 7 students from Armenia who joined the class via Zoom.
So I compress it, the middle photograph. They compress it and then make these bricks, which they then use not only to heat their house.
I have 3 main volumes here.
For metal, it's easy to weld.
Right.
You can weld this.
So this is going to be the studio, which is going to lead to the greenhouse.
Once a design was selected, it was sent to our consultant in Melbourne who created a digital framing model that could be sent to the FrameCAD roll former machine and printed. Rather than printing the steel in the US and paying for shipping, we found a company in Romania with the means to print and transport the steel to Armenia. Arriving in Armenia, we were met with a construction team of 10 volunteers who had taken time off their day jobs in order to help with the construction of this home. Working in small teams, we were able to assemble each wall and truss according to assembly diagrams that we had printed prior to arrival. Thanks to the brilliance of the FrameCAD software, all of the studs are pre-punched and labeled so that the house only fits together one way. Simpson Strong-Tie generously donated all of the brackets for the home, while Walter P. Moore Engineering provided structural consultation pro bono. Overcoming language barriers and a steep learning curve for the technology, we were able to assemble the steel frame in 3 days.
Մենք շատ շնորհակալ ենք այս կարդիվին, որ դառնում եք մեզի, որ ցերեմոնիքի մեջ մաս եք։ We're very privileged that you've allowed us to be part of your family. You're always in our hearts in this house.
So that's what Arta is, and that's the organization that Ariel is with, and he is an architect here in Pasadena. Like I said, he grew up there, went to Marshall, but he will be there and he will discuss Arta and the alternative building materials as well, and what Arta does. So, and he'll discuss like the process, right, of building. He's one of them that will discuss the process. But when I was speaking to him, I was like, I would really like to know more about that, because we don't need timber boxes in Altadena again, right? The difference in cost, especially with tariffs right now, will determine people's actual price to rebuild, right? Whether lumber will be less expensive or more economical for them, or steel or whatever. So, you know, all of that is going to take a factor. And now that more tariffs were levied today, all those things will factor into people's rebuilding. But I don't know if you noticed in the video, they said they had 10 people on site, and they were able to get this house up in 3 days with 10 people. You guys know how I'm saying I'm trying to do an army, like Habitat for Humanity, but our own, where we have our waiver of liability, so no one on the site tries to sue us as Altadena Talks or any of the builders if they get hurt, but they will waive those rights. They'll take their security, you know, training, or we'll talk to them about security before. But if we do have 50 people on site, or 75 or whatever, whether it's traditional building materials like wood, or even if some people go with this, if 10 people framed a house in 3 days, what can triple, quadruple that amount? You know what I'm saying? Like 40, 50, 60, 70 people do. How much quicker can these houses be framed and then go on to that next phase? Which is why I keep saying I'm so adamant about building this army of volunteers, of Altadenians for Altadena that want to come and help rebuild these houses. So that's that one about Ariel. He was going to come on, but like I said, he'll be there on Saturday. So just want to show some people, a few people, some of that, so people will know that we are going to have alternate. I still don't have anybody yet, but even if they're not there Saturday, that's fine, because we have so many people. But I want to, in the next couple of weeks, bring someone on that might be able to speak about the 3D printing of homes.
Oh, yeah.
Can usually be up within a week's time also. And they bring the machine on site. They print what they can off site, and then they bring the machine on site to do other little pieces. But generally, those 3D printed homes are very, very sturdy. They got them in places that have tornadoes. In Texas, a couple in Oklahoma or whatever, and those houses last. They withstand all of that. So they'd obviously have to withstand California building code for earthquakes and things like that. And I think there is a company that already has it where they do, and they're approved. So I'm trying to get someone to come on in the next couple of weeks to speak about that. I like that mug, Brian. And then your coffee, tea, water, whatever it is.
Coffee today.
All right.
Yeah, stay awake. I've been up so long.
Oh, yeah, you've been up all night.
I don't have luggage under my eyes.
Yeah, it's a good thing. You can go take your nap.
Well, we're going to utilize this little break to segue into something else that we'd like you guys to see. We got another video queued up, and I would love for Tony to kind of give a little prelogue. You know, was that prologue, epilogue, one of them logs, to talk about how this video came about and what inspired it.
Yeah, so this video is called, what is it, Ashes and Purpose, or Ashes for Purpose?
Mm-hmm. Ashes and Purpose.
Ashes and Purpose. It features me. And what happened was, so I know a bunch of people that know me or have seen me on this show. I'm a veteran of the U.S. Air Force. And after the houses burned down, I just wanted to help, right? This was part of my therapy. Like Brian, yours was going out, filming, you and Jamal starting this. Part of my therapy was, how can I serve our community? What can I do, right, to help? And so I'm part of what's called Team Rubicon. And Team Rubicon is a volunteer organization that was started by veterans, because what happens with veterans, if anybody doesn't know, there's like 22 veteran suicides a day. The majority of us that have served have PTSD. Some of us have very severe PTSD and have caregivers around the clock and all of that. But a big thing that happens with veterans when you're out of the military is you lose your sense of purpose, and that coupled with the PTSD can lead to depression and suicides a lot. We know when we're serving that we have a sense of purpose. We're trying to serve our country, right? And so when you're out, doesn't matter if you've gotten married, you have kids, we know you have purpose in those things, but that sense of service and not having that purpose anymore can play really bad mind tricks. And when you are in the military, you're so used to the camaraderie and the brotherhood, sisterhood of, your fellow service members, whether they're your same branch or not. That's why sometimes for those of you that don't have or you're not military, but you have military family members, when we get together, Thanksgiving, Christmas, any other time, you may have separate branches and you're going to hear crap. Like you'll hear us talk about, the Marines think they're the biggest, baddest on the planet and all of this. But then we go, okay, but you're Department of the Navy. You don't even have your own department, right? So we rag them about that. And then for the Air Force, they call us the chair force. They say, well, you guys are spoiled. You guys got, now they say this, you guys got the best chow halls. And we say, no, we have dining halls. Y'all have mess of chow halls, not us. We have the best gyms. We have theaters and clubs on our bases and all this stuff, right? And so what we tell them is, yeah, because we scored high enough on the ASVAB to get into the Air Force. Sorry that you weren't smart enough and you had to go in the Army or the Navy or the Marines. And so though they try to get digs at us, we all have our stuff, right, to get back at each other. But it's all love. Like if you, like Dina, right?
Like Dina,
like you talk crazy about somebody else in the service and you're not, like you don't get that right. You don't have that right. Just like Dina. We might be Alta, they might be passive, but when it comes to it, it's all Dina love, no matter where you are, right? And everybody else from outside can't be talking crazy about nobody from Dina. Though we may do it when it comes to HS and Mirror, and then people that went to Marshall or Blair, it's like, oh, you guys don't count. Stuff like that, right? But it's all Dina love.
Out of here. Get out of here.
Right. So what happens is when you're in the military, same principle, same concept. So when you get out, that sense of purpose is really lost for a lot of veterans. And so for me, it was like, I have to serve Altadena. I have to do something. And I knew Team Rubicon would get the call, like, to come to our area. We do disaster recovery. We go everywhere, mudslides, hurricanes, tornadoes. We go do muck-ups, whatever. So since I'm part of Team Rubicon, I was like, let me make sure I'm deployment ready. So I went into my account online, made sure I was deployment ready. And I kept getting calls from Malibu, Palisades, different areas, even downtown, like in the ops center. And I was like, nope. And I literally, you get calls or texts. And I was like, ain't doing it. And I would decline, right? Because I was like, I'm waiting for Altadena. They have to come to Altadena if they're getting all these other areas. So one day I'm literally sitting here and I see a text come in, but I'm working. I'm like, I'll check it in a minute. And when I did, I freaked out because I was like, oh my God, it's Altadena. Oh my God, I'm going to serve. And
I remember when you announced it.
Yeah, on my Facebook. Didn't know what I was going to be doing, and it didn't really matter as long as I got to do something for Altadena, right? And so the first 2 days we went and did some sandbags. Then we were at Victory Park. Well, they went up in the canyon and they were scooping sand out, putting it in sandbags. I was like, not doing that. So then they made me a strike team leader because I was like, I'm not doing the manual stuff like that. So the strike team leader, I was
How dare you ask me to lift the scaffolding?
There you go. I was like, no, I'll tell people what to do, So I was a strike team leader. I drove the van. I, told them, okay, I need you guys to do this, So we were at Victory Park and we were loading like 25 sandbags in people's cars. That was the max. And then we went up on Loma Alta, went up on Stonehill, we went Rubio, different places over on Cheney Trail to literally put sandbags at people's houses because the rains were starting and we didn't want all the mudslides. So when we were at Victory Park, and I had a few people text me the video or inbox me, Channel 4 News came over and the people from Pasadena, the County Public Works, couldn't be on video because it has to be a PR person. So they were like, well, you're the strike team leader here. Can you give her an interview? I was like, okay, whatever. And so I did. And the headquarters of Team Rubicon saw me and they flew some folks in town to interview me and asked, you know, how is it as losing a home to the fire? Your family's been impacted, but you're still serving. So this is what this video is. And what is it, like 6 or 7 minutes long or something, I think? And
it's long enough for people to be paying attention. So we
yeah.
ain't worried about how long it is.
I'll probably snot nose or cry a little bit every time I watch it. I do, because it just
we're gonna pop you up right in the middle of it when you start doing this.
I'm gonna go on mute, but that's the context, and that's why this video happened.
All right, well, here we go. Jamal, mute the music, and we're gonna get this show on the road. Here.
Yeah.
There were literally fire tornadoes on this street. My brother, who's a fire chief for CAL FIRE, I called him to come up here, and he was screaming. He was dropping F-bombs because he hadn't seen fire tornadoes the way they were on this street. It's just incredibly crazy. Like, Altadena is such an amazing place to live, super diverse. It's just how awesome our community has always been. And so now everybody's like grieving because our town is basically gone. This is one of the places where Black families could buy in the 60s that wasn't redlined. So my parents were able to buy this house in 1968. And so for us, homeownership for Black families, which wasn't achievable everywhere, my parents were able to do in the 60s. Obviously, they've had it, you know, almost 57 years, and we did everything here. You know, all the holidays. My wedding was in the backyard. So yeah, it's tough. But it just has always represented a place of love. So this is the living room. This was the TV stand that the TV was on. But this window was right here, and it was glass block. So I really want to try to salvage some of the pieces of it and make something artwork wise if I can. Is that a photo? Like a yearbook or something? Class of 82, 10th grade. Oh my gosh, it is. Oh wow. It's probably my yearbook. Oh wow. I hadn't seen this the other day when I came up here. Oh. When the fire came, it was like a monster coming over the backyard. This is all just smoke, ashes, embers. My brother, he's been in the fire service for a long time, and he said he had never seen anything like this in all his time. So he came out front, and he said there were spot fires everywhere, all over all the yards. And he ran to his car and left. I got the call at 3:45 saying the house is gone. And I sat up in bed, and I cried. I cried and cried. My heart was not about this house. It was so hurt for my parents. You know, they're taking it a day at a time. They haven't been back. I'm the only one that's been up here. It's very hard because this is 56 years of their life. And they're 82 and 87. So they're like, they can't imagine how they would recover and rebuild a home that is basically ash. In that 7-day time span, it was, oh, I'm registered with TR, and I know TR is going to get deployed somewhere. I didn't know when or where, but I was like, let me go in and make sure, like, I'm good to go, right? Because I wanted to make sure that when TR got the call for Altadena, because I just knew in my heart that they would, that I was ready because I had to be here to help my community. But I was working and I saw that I had a text and I was like, who's this from? And when I opened it, I was like, Altadena. I was so excited because it was like, finally, I can go and deploy into my hometown and do it with a group that is near and dear to my heart because I'm a veteran. Because there's something with veterans that we're family, right? And so for me, there was never a question who that I would go and help with. I knew it would be Team Rubicon, and I knew that they would get the call to come to Altadena. So we wound up coming into the foothills and the mountain areas and offloading pallets of sandbags and placing them at people's homes. What street was it on?
Wood Glen.
Oh, okay. Was that the 1608 or?
Yeah, 1608.
Yeah, finally went to that today. Oh, okay, cool. Me being here as a gray shirt, helping my own community, including my parents, my sister, other family members, helps incredibly because I know I'm doing something to help my community come back. So back when we were little, they used to give us trees during Arbor Day, like in September. And these trees, my brother and I planted, they're like over 40 years old. This is gonna be years. They've told us 18 months it may take just to clear everything. And I think that people are hearing is like, beautiful Altadena will never be the same. And it won't, because we'll have to make changes when we build back. But the unity and the resilience and the beauty of the people of Altadena, you can't burn that down. Thank you so much. From the depths of my soul, the bottom of my heart, thank you, gray shirts, every single one of you. And thank you to every donor, everyone who has clicked or will click and donate. And with all gratitude, we couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much and coming to help us in Altadena, California.
That's what I felt like doing, but I had to keep it together for the show. I had the same feeling you had, Tony, when me and you went up to see my place, and then we went to see your place. I mean, I walked through that whole area, and it's amazing how there were some, like Audra's house. Audra lived across the street. Not touched. Only the car got burned up, you know. But then we drove around that whole area and just saw craziness.
But at Audra's house, like her uncle Orrin lived on the same side of the street as us. Remember the lot that had been cleared? He was next door to that, and you saw no house. But then his mother's house, but Audra's mom's house, Julia, her house is still standing, but I found out they got to take it all the way down because it got so hot on the inside, and the firefighters went on the roof to vent, and stuff is melted. So they're going to have to take it down and gut it and redo it. And then David Terry is 1, 2, 3, 5 houses, his mom. And you saw that was just gone too, right? And then, you know, we drove around all those houses up there on the east side of Lake. But yeah, every time I watch that, it doesn't get a whole lot better. And even though I'm constantly up there every other day or whatever, doing something and checking, it's just, you know, every time we drive through Altadena, it's just devastating to see our whole lives gone. Like I said, you know, there's a lot of people that are Altadena now, but I went to Loma Alta preschool when I was 3, you know, and that building, that gym and that building that I went to preschool in is gone. I went to Audubon, is still standing, but then Loma Alta School for 4th through 6th, gone. Elliott, gone. You know, Mirror, thankfully, is still there or whatever. But But to see, and Farnsworth Park, that was around the corner. We walked there. We went to summer camp there. We did everything that's our park, right? We played tennis on the tennis courts, which I heard are pickleball courts now, or part of them, whatever. And then everything's just gone. So doesn't matter how often we drive through. It's just tough. So for me, I needed to make sure immediately, as soon as I could get in and do something, that I did. But you saw those sandbags and the areas that they were putting in. Now you know why I was strike team leader telling them, okay, you get that pallet off, you do that. I was not lifting sandbags. I wasn't filling sandbags. I was not. I served, but I wasn't doing all that. You guys saw I had the men doing all that. There were some women too, but I was a strike team leader. So that's what happens when, you got that role. You get to direct people.
Delegate.
That's right.
Hey, brother, can you pick up that sandbag 17,000 times? I appreciate you.
Yeah, because 25, them sandbags are like 35 pounds, 40 pounds each.
That's a good workout.
Yeah, and I wasn't doing that.
Yeah, for the first 5 minutes, but then by an hour or two.
Oh, my back. The show must go on.
Right. So you got me. You feel it. I was like, no. They were like, will you be the strike team leader? That's actually where we would go and check in early in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning. They were like, Antoinette, can you be the strike team lead? I was like, they must have known, like, y'all ain't having me pick up much of nothing. But
they looked at your Facebook. Saw that video when you went over there after the Muir win.
Yeah, so
that was funny.
But thanks for sharing that. It's emotional every time I view it. But literally, like, they happen to see me, somebody on Channel 4, and we're like, oh, you did really well talking about Team Rubicon and what you all are doing. So can we do a whole entire, clip on you? Because you literally were impacted, and we need to see all of that, because our donors need to see what we as gray shirts are doing. And that's literally what we're called, is gray shirts. And you saw the gray, we write our names in the marker, but it started over in Haiti, and they needed a way to be able to identify us so that we would be safe. And so they literally went to like REI, and the only thing they had were some gray shirts. And so that's how it started 15 years ago. And the founder of Team Rubicon did it because of the sense of purpose. And a few years ago, he suicided after all.
No.
Yeah, about 3 years ago, about 12 years in. But he started Team Rubicon to help prevent veteran suicides. And 12 years after, I don't know if he lost a sense of purpose or just felt like it wasn't enough to combat, what we see when we're in combat. But he suicided about 3 years ago after all. So we're trying to carry on the legacy of Team Rubicon and make sure that people know and that we continue to serve.
That's all we
Definitely
can do.
glad you did it.
Yeah.
And did that video. I'm glad we shared it. I mean, it's devastating to even have a video like that. And what I like, if you can like something about that, is the fact that it showed your unique kind of experience, but it also showed some, common threads that all folks who lost property or have family that lost property up there share in common. And I mean, it's tough. It was tough watching it. And any subsequent videos, I'm sure, that we put up or conversations, it's going to continue to be tough.
Yeah, because we keep going up there and filming, because we want to bring you the progress of what's going on. In fact, after the podcast today, of course, roving reporter will be driving up there and filming with my commentary that I normally do. We're standing here among the ruins of Altadena. It's just, we're so anxious to get back to the way it was, the normalcy, that even when it does get back to being built up, and I predict maybe 5 years when the whole town will probably be back up and running, I especially hope that certain businesses really come back and that they have the proper insurance that they need. Because I miss my Rancho bar. I miss going to the smoke shop just to chat with the guy, because he was a community person. They had a Thai restaurant across the street. We had our little incubator of little peppered restaurants. One just opened up. Joey Galloway had just leased the to a new restaurant. They was only up there 2 weeks.
Was it a vegan restaurant or something? Or
No, it was like no, that's the one on the end that burned up too. But they had some great vegan pancakes.
Was that on Mariposa?
Yeah, the Mariposa Junction. He used to always do every first Saturday he have an event and vendors would come out and just all kinds of stuff. And I wonder why Blue Salt Fish and Grill is calling me.
So I'm glad you kind of went into that because I think it's super important for the restaurants that are still Pasadena and Altadena that are standing, even on like the Lincoln Quarter or different places, that when someone's in Altadena, go and support them because all the people they had that were living there, 20,000 plus or however many people are displaced, are no longer going there on a regular basis supporting. And some of them are very afraid that they'll go under. So, you know, Perry's Joint just opened back up 3 weeks ago. The Sierra Madre location wasn't affected, but the one on Lincoln was. And he opened up when I went in there to talk to him last week. He'd been open, he said 3 weeks. And I didn't know this, but Perry actually owned the building that Little Red Hen was in.
Oh, wow.
And so he said, we are going to rebuild. I said, great. He said, I want to make sure that that's back in the community. So so that will come back eventually. And
just so you know, I'm sharing that article that you sent us earlier.
Yeah, make that text bigger.
Too.
And I'm showing the part where they are showing all the restaurants that are open.
Yes.
Zoom in.
Alphabetical. I just did.
Yeah, thank you. Which is what I was getting ready to talk about and say, could you bring it up? So I'm so glad you brought it up. And then there's it's so important that when we are out there, even if you do just go to do a drive by your place, try to stop and support someone because they've been struggling. I know I saw maybe we could put that link in the all chat to that's on the Star News and people can see those restaurants so that they can know and go up there or see like Crescent Yoga. You know, they got yoga classes. Connell's is still there, but they've taken a hit. You know, Millie's, which is on the corner of Washington and Hill, the first couple of weeks was nobody. Now they're super full. And then the one right down a little bit from them called, I think it's Lavender and Lemon. There was a story on them that like, we don't know if we're going to survive. Now, every time I pass on the weekends, people are in there, the line is out the door. So once the word is getting out, people are doing what they can do. There was something I text you, Brian, saying go support that bar that just opened not too long ago. I said maybe in light of Rancho being gone, we can go support over there. And you were like, the drinks are too expensive over there. But maybe, and I don't have a problem calling them. I'm gonna say, look, this is what we had, $7 drinks. You want to do that so we can get all the community back over there, right? Because if he's worried about going under altogether, he might want to be like, I'm going to lower the prices. And yes, can you all come, right?
Right.
Because if it means foot traffic and money gets funneled into his establishment versus closing, he might want to go in and drop the price of some of those drinks and get that Rancho crowd over there, maybe even the tacos or something. I don't know, but it's worth checking in with them and maybe calling him.
I say we just open the keg back up in the orbit.
Well, if that's the case, then hey, I'll turn my backyard into a little spot where people can
a little juke joint.
Yeah, because let me tell you, I built a couple years ago. I built this tri-level deck. I have the jacuzzi on one. I have a Blackstone grill and another little grill on another part. Like, it's super dope. And people are always like, oh, your backyard is the business. And, you know, my son, I have parties out there, friends, whatever. And I had a big Mother's Day event out here last Mother's Day. But if that's the case, folks want to take a little drive, we'll have Rancho right here in my backyard.
Ain't no problem. All we got to do is put it on the Rancho group. They'll all be out there. Trust me. They all want. You see, okay, so you see when we went over Dale's house, right?
And his house is tiny.
Right, but that's the whole Rancho crew.
I know.
Yeah, the Rancho is tiny.
They'd have so much space back here. They'd be like, "Oh, Tone, we need to come to your house every week."
Yeah, they'd be like, "Okay, so I got the spot on the lanai right there."
Hey, they could do it for real because I have different zones too. Like I got the And I got the jacuzzi. So, and it plays, you know, I put the music through my phone,
Right.
with the speakers inside. Like they could totally do it and have a blast. So,
It's
yeah.
gonna be packed over there. You got people lining up around the corner.
Hey, I'd be like, all right, as long as I say, look, this time y'all gotta go.
You ain't got to leave. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the heck out of here, brother.
But yeah,
this ain't no juke. This ain't no layover, sleepover. No, like my mother goes, yo, you and your friends got to go. You too.
I got down to San Dimas, but I mean, you know, San Dimas ain't that far east.
Huh?
Oh, you're in San Dimas?
Yeah.
Please, we drove to Redlands for a homie's event.
Yeah. No, I bought this house out here like 4.5 years ago because I was looking at Altadena everywhere and could not, you know, I couldn't buy nothing up there. I was like, I got to be in my hometown and couldn't. And so I bought out here October 2020 with like a 2.7%.
Yeah, jump on that. Now it's the 7.
I have such a low rate and I used my
rate.
VA. Huh?
That was my first rate, like
yeah.
between like 6.5 or 7 back in 98.
Mine's not even 3. And plus I use my VA, so I don't have PMI. That private mortgage insurance, because the VA covers you. So
the protection insurance.
Right. I was like, okay, good. Thank you. But so I have like, my lot is 11,000 square feet. And so I have a big backyard and I have a whole garden. Like I grow all kind of, I got collard greens and green onions and red, yellow, orange peppers and beets.
Got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lambs, rams, chickens, turkeys.
Yeah, so hey, you name it, right? So I have like a whole garden outside. I got the deck, and then I got a couple.
My mom was looking at me dancing. She was like, "What are you doing?"
Right? She's like, "I done felt the Holy Spirit."
Okay. Right.
Now that reminded me of Bugs Bunny when we were talking about that. My bad.
Yeah, we're stupid.
So yeah, you guys will be like, "Hey, let's do." Oh yeah, that's high.
Hey,
that's what they were though.
Shopping,
but the houses were low.
Over there.
I know, but 15%, like that's ridiculous. I'm good with my 2.7 or whatever. I don't want
on your FM dial.
and everybody tells me all the time, "Hey, I could do a loan for you." I'm like, "No, you can't." Like I get calls, right? I'm like, "No, you can't."
You ain't gonna beat that rate.
Yeah, I could probably beat your rate. I said, "No, you can't." Like you ain't gonna give me no.
You could probably beat the rate for the HELOC if I wanted to do that.
I'm like, "No, you can't." You know, so yeah, but yeah, and then you know I got on that. Let's try to support the restaurants and stuff. But just to go to another quick little subject, I got on the call yesterday for the county, Catherine Barger's office. Mm-hmm. You know they did that. Well, LA County did this meeting.
Yep.
And there were some pretty pissed off people because you could only submit questions in the chat or pre-submit. And the whole time I was on there, I think it started at 4 and it was over at 5. Like on
that's what they said. They're 4 to 5.
5
yeah, they
on
shut
the
it down
dot.
like right. Yeah.
And the colonel was on there and gave his little spiel. Somebody from the insurance commissioner's office was on there, gave his little spiel. Each person had like what they were going to say. And then they responded to questions in the chat. So a lot of people were asking about the water, like, what's going on with the water companies? When are we going to be able to move back? When are we get those questions were not answered at all. And when I tell you people were pissed, they were pissed.
They responded, but they didn't answer.
They didn't answer at all.
Did the colonel give another parable?
He gave the same old what we've heard from the colonel over and over.
He asked
something,
like you guys are going to be living in.
That said, well, they cleared my lot and they left a trench. So are you guys coming back to fill the trench? And I started laughing, right, to myself because I'm
better go get some free dirt.
Right. Well, no, yeah, either go get some dirt, bring it in, put it, or you better call your friends and family and get some shovels up there and fill that trench, or talk to your builder, and that will be part of your bill back, right? They're gonna bring dirt in, whatever. But they were asking questions, and I was just like, no, they ain't gonna bring no dirt or fill that trench. Then somebody asked, about sidewalks. And
you're gonna get a curb.
Wait, my thing is like, why? If you're a real Altadenian, and I say real because you're not somebody that just bought up in there and think we need sidewalks, right? We've been there forever. Altadena is not about the sidewalks, and people don't understand. And she said it. She answered it. She said, yes, you can request sidewalks. She said, I will tell you, it will be very expensive. And I will tell you, there's a whole process. Plus, everybody on your block got to agree to the sidewalks, right? And that they're going to give up 4 to 5 feet. It's not 1 to 3. Because your sidewalk is usually 2 feet, 3 feet, maybe. She said you will give up 4 to 5 feet of your land, right? Because you will. And that becomes part of the county then. And then people were in the chat like, yeah, and who's going to clean your sidewalk? And if you get grass that grows, or who's going to plant a tree on the side, all this stuff, the people that are been in Dina a long time. And so I was like, I put we in capital letters, don't want sidewalks. That's what makes Altadena Altadena. Like if you want sidewalks, go to Pasadena, right? And this one dude, Greg, was like, yes, Antoinette, 100 or whatever. But it's just like, y'all keep asking about these sidewalks, man. If you want sidewalks, go to a city that has sidewalks. Because if you really want Altadena back how Altadena has always been or whatever, other than maybe over by the park or, somewhere, the bulk of Altadena doesn't have sidewalks. And that's what makes us what we are, right? Makes Altadena what it is. So they were asking questions like that, stuff about the water. And then, some people, one lady kept saying, how come, I guess she can't get FEMA help because her address is not in the CAL FIRE database. And so unless your address is in the CAL FIRE database, you can't get, but she's asking, in my opinion, the wrong people. Call CAL FIRE and ask them how come they don't have your address in the database, not the county. Or get an attorney to work with the county and CAL FIRE. But she kept over and over asking that in the chat. So it was a meeting, but it wasn't anything that was like, oh, we got nothing new information. No, it was all repeat information. And I sat on there the whole hour. And so it wasn't anything to write home about and be like, oh, the county said this, or, so I did want to just address that on the call today. That, there wasn't anything on that call that was like new pressing information that people, would need to know. And our audience for certain. So that's it on that one.
Well, this was a very informative podcast today. We showed some different things that are going on. We debuted some videos so that you could see how homes are built with steel and steel framing and how quickly they can get up. So I saw a special on, I think it came up on our blog, an article of the lady who was on the press conference with Governor Newsom, the German lady who's wanting to get her home done. So
be the first one done.
Yeah, she said that they're going to build it all in cement. And Tony, what did you say?
I said, I don't want no all cement home because now I get the blocks, right? Concrete blocks. They do that in a lot of countries that have earthquakes like Mexico, and their stuff does really well, right? Because we're earthquake prone. But I don't want a ceiling made out of cement because if we do have an earthquake and it shakes too much, I don't want pieces. I don't want to die. That's
the whole family gone.
Right. But it's different from regular cinder blocks, right? That are concrete and pouring concrete for the slab and the ceilings or whatever. Then the insulated concrete form, the ICF that I was mentioning yesterday. And the ICFs are like, I should have given you that link. Hold on. Maybe I could pull it up real quick before we head off.
All right, because I keep yawning. I'm going to fall asleep.
Okay, hold on. Here, Jamal, put this up real quick.
I'll be like this other show.
You're not that sleepy. Okay, Jamal, if you could bring that up. That's the insulated concrete form. And this one is like insulated concrete form versus concrete foundation, right? Poured. And so people can see that's what the foundation would look like. And then if you see how the rebar is sticking up, and you can go elsewhere in the site too. But that white that you see is literally the insulated concrete, and they put them. Scroll down, because I want people to see this one. Keep going, and you might want to make the screen large right there. That's how the ICF, which are the concrete blocks, literally they stack like Legos, but it's made out of concrete. It's all insulated, so it is super energy efficient. It keeps your house cooler in the summer, keeps it warmer in the winter. And they can go all the way down, dig these trenches, put it, and then they can put that what you saw in the beginning, that yellow one. So that's a little bit different. If somebody says, I'm building my house out of ICF, that's different to me than saying I'm building my house out of cement, because cement is usually going to be traditional cinder blocks. You're going to have a poured foundation of cement, then cinder blocks, and then however they're doing. But if it's ICF, it is a little bit more expensive. But it's a really, really good product. It's a newer product, but they're building with it all over the country, including places that have earthquakes and tornadoes and hurricanes.
I saw a TV show where they built a home with that, and it was phenomenal. I mean,
they are
like
phenomenal.
Yeah.
But again, in Altadena, there's the issue of people that may not have insurance or are underinsured, and can they afford that? So they may have to go with traditional timber, right? And everybody's going to have to do what they can. But that right there, thanks, Jamal, for going more through the site and showing that. But the ICF is absolutely an option if you have it. Concrete is an option. Cinder blocks are very inexpensive, and that may be, those are the blocks. Cinder blocks may really be an option for people as well, right? But my thing was with that lady, she lived in a John's cottage. So she's not getting a cement John's cottage.
She's not doing it again. Not like for like.
It's not going to be like identical to no John's cottage, because they were not that. And I don't see how you could even make it exactly like that if it's a concrete. So,
remember Allison did say like for like just simply meant footprint.
Yes, it's not identical.
So it doesn't have to be complete style.
That's right.
As long as it's the same footprint. So maybe that's all she's doing, and just obviously using different materials and a different style.
It's the footprint plus that 10%. And now you don't even have to justify, I want a bigger this or that or any of that. So
Right. So one of my neighbors had two properties next door to each other. One was cinder and the other regular, and the house that was cinder block burned, and the other is still standing.
Yeah, that is weird. Definitely weird.
But you know what? It might have been older cinder block that doesn't have the new technology with the fireproofing in it, because I know
it was cinder block.
Exactly. Right. Cinder block. He's so stupid. But anyway, look at Jamal. He's like, oh God. But anyway, we'll just have to wait and see what people do. I mean, I know that cinder blocks and concrete that's poured nowadays has some type of fire retardant or resistant in it, because it's part of the new building codes. So they have to. But I don't want no cinder block house. I don't even have a cinder block wall. When we were putting my new fence up, because on one side the neighbor had cinder block, and they were like, "Oh, you want?" I said, "No, I don't. Don't ask me. Do I want cinder block? I hate cinder block walls." And they were like, "Oh, okay." So we did something else. But now you're not going to be able to put wood fences up.
Really?
It's got to be something that is fire retardant. They're not going to allow wood fences in between properties, because everything we got, tinder.
Did you see the lady's house that said she wanted to be the first one built? They was knocking down her chimney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you ain't got no fireplace now, buddy. You done let it get knocked down.
And the thing about that is you can have a fireplace if it's electrical, or if you don't have them tear the one you have standing up. Because if you have them tear that down, when they come to clear your lot, they will not allow you to build another traditional one for wood burning or gas.
And that's what a lot of people don't know.
Exactly. That's why I said it last week, and I'm going to keep saying it, because I like a fireplace and I burn my wood. And my parents converted theirs to gas too, but I have to make sure my mom understands, if you want that fireplace and they could build a new house around it, because it has the old firebox, do not let them tear it down, because if they do, and that's anybody, if you have a standing chimney, which is the only thing that's standing, and you want
to keep it,
do not let the Army Corps engineers tear that down, because if you do, they will not allow you to put another one like that up. You can get one, but it will be one of those electric ones that are built into the wall. So
you heard it here first, folks.
They may not have heard it here first, but with the wood.
Well, they did, because we've been saying it for a while.
Yeah, it is treated wood. Yep. So, anywho, that's all I have today. It's 10 after, so we've been on about an hour. And does anybody, either one of you two, have anything? Or are there any questions for us?
No questions. But I think this was a very informative podcast. We almost started on time. We're ending on time. Appreciate
everybody being here and engaging and watching the videos today. And we've had 4 more.
Oh yeah, that's what we forgot. Tomorrow we're going to keep that link up the whole time, regardless of who's going to be on, because that's the priority, which is that link right there.
Actually, 3 more. So we're at 99 of the 200 tickets right now.
99.
Come on, 99. Folks, today get us over 100.
It'll happen today. Mark. Yeah, it'll happen.
And like I said, we're getting the food today, so you guys are going to be nourished.
Yeah, don't play.
You're going to nourish your bodies as well as your minds with all kind of info.
Your mind, your body, stuff. And your soul.
And your soul, because it's going to be at Victory Bible Church. So, I mean, come on now.
What is the Brickside event again, Elaine? What is that she's talking about? I know she mentioned it, or you guys mentioned it yesterday, but...
No, that's the one today.
The Altadena Chamber one.
That's the one today at 2.
Oh, okay.
Wait, my bad. What do you? Getting ready for the Brooks. Oh, yeah. My bad.
Yeah, since 2 p.m. to 2:30 to 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice. I have to be at the VA for a doctor's appointment at 2:30.
I'll be there covering it. I'll be like, okay, they over here lying again. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, for the SBA. Okay. Yeah, there's still gray areas, and like I said, I think all the officials, I'm choosing to give them grace, because I really do think everybody is trying to be as helpful as possible. But what's happening is it's like, let's figure it out as we go, because the master plan for the county, because this was never expected, right? The master recovery plan had that shell, but was never fully filled in about this is how we would handle this. This is what we would do with this, all of that. And so, so that's why, there's gray areas, and one person is saying this and one person is saying this, and then they talk, and then it's like, this is what the actual, answer is.
Yeah, I think we announced that, Zaire, in one of our announcements. I think that's from 8 to 10 a.m. or something like that.
If you have a flyer for that, Zaire, shoot it to us.
No, you had the flyer.
I'll look for it too. For the gas giveaway?
Yeah, it's all on the same New Revelation thing, and they were going to be doing the toy thing. Remember, we
was it an older one?
Well, it was one we did yesterday to talk about for this weekend.
Why didn't I take it out?
So they've been doing them. New Rev has been doing something. It seems like every weekend.
They are doing it every weekend.
Yeah, they have gas. They've been giving about laptops. They got
a kids day, come out and play, and then they got something going on in the afternoon.
Yeah, which is really, really good, because they're getting the donations in, and they're able to turn it right around each week and do something. So I know I saw Coda at something, but anyway, yeah, New Rev has been on it every weekend, so that's really good. But yeah, we've got about 99, almost 100 people. I'm sure we'll get some more. Please, if you plan on attending Saturday, go to the link. Oh, that's good that they're giving away cards. That's cool. So I know Brennan Lamar worked with Cedric the Entertainer, and through what he's doing, even though he's, our youth pastor at Victory, they gave away 10 of those red Fiats, which was dope. And then to date, Victory's given away 20 cars to people in the community and at our church that lost cars, because we had 40 what did I say yesterday? 45, somewhere between 45 and 48 families impacted, and several lost everything, including all their cars. So I'm thrilled every day to hear what the community is doing, all the different churches and organizations that may not be faith-based, and then the ones that are partnering together to help people, because that's what's needed, right? Whether it's a car, a place to live, cash, whatever. The fact that everybody every week keeps helping, and you might have gotten a car but don't have gas money. So to be able to get a gas card, or whatever gas,
get a full tank, yeah,
exactly. Because how much? I don't know how much gas is, because my car is not that. But
yeah, it's anywhere from $4.50 to $5. I got and that's AM PM.
I wait till after 9 o'clock. Nope, not every day, because I don't drive it every day because I work from home. So maybe twice a week, and I don't plug it in until after 9 p.m. because that's when the rates are cheaper. I plug the sucker in, and it usually I'll see on my phone
like the old cell phones back in the day. Hey man, call me after 7, man. My minutes
when the rates are low.
Hey, for these cars, it's no joke.
Long distance too.
Yeah.
Depending upon the time of day you call.
If you pass 20 miles, I'm not paying for that.
But yeah, you're right, Elaine. Every bit does help, and it really takes all of us together to do this. Speaking of that, there's been, like I talked about Kendra, and even with me, I've gotten some backlash where people are like, "You're doing this on your own. You're not working with other people," and that's not true at all. Altadena Talks, our foundation, is doing this. And we are partnering with Victory Bible Church to host it there. And that's because I go there and talk to Pastor John and Pastor Angel and was like, can I do it here so I don't have to incur cost? And anybody that wants to come Saturday is welcome. The only reason for the registration is so I can get a good head count when I order this food today. I don't want people to come and not have something if they attend. So that's why I've asked people, and we set up the registration via the Eventbrite. So if you plan on coming, please register. We're at 99 people now. Capacity, what I have down is 200, and that's so that I can have these tables with like 6 or 8 chairs around them. So if you want to write or, put your food there and eat. If I do it where it's just all, the sanctuary, the seats, you're just in a seat, and we could get several hundred, 4 or 5 or however many. I don't know what the capacity is, but we break it up. We take all those out. We put tables and chairs in. And so because I am ordering food, please register. And if you know someone that needs to come or wants to come, please register, or have them register, or you register your name for them, and then get all the info so that this could be the best for everybody.
And I'd just like to say this. If you feel that we're not working together or working with you, you could reach out to us, and we will vet your organization, because that's what we do, because we don't want to just work with anybody that's trying to do something that's not on the up and up. We're all Altadena residents, lifelong Altadena residents, and we're not doing anything malicious. We're not getting any kickbacks. We just want to make sure that we're here for you every day that we're on during the week to make sure you get the information you need, because that's what our foundation is about. It's about resources for Altadena residents, and just to give you the skinny on what we do to help out. So please join our ranks. We have the whole websites up with volunteer links and all kinds of stuff, and we'll be putting the form for builders to go ahead and fill out their information to get vetted as well. I mean, this is our first town hall. There's going to be many more to come. We got 2 years of this, maybe 4. So we're going to continue.
With the town hall is we're going to listen to the community, like the feedback, things I hear. With the feedback that we get here or on the boots on the ground, right? When people see us and tell us, that's what's going to drive a lot of the town halls and the other events that we do. Anybody who says that, please send them my way. And you could quote Zaire, bruh, I can handle it, right? So anybody that wants to step to me, there's no problem. They can, and we'll have a real discussion. I've talked to
That's all right. We'll be all standing behind you like, yeah.
I've talked to a couple people, and vetted or tried to vet some people, and they didn't quite align with us. But I don't make that decision. I take it back to Brian and Jamal, and we make a decision together. And so if you weren't quite aligned with us for whatever reason, it doesn't mean that we don't want to work together. It's you didn't fit what Altadena Talks is doing. But if your org and our org at some point work together, even with like our volunteer army, right? We're not going to say, oh, I have a list of 300 people. And when your company over here, your contractor, your builder over here starts to build, hey, if you need us over there too, let's do it. Because this is about all of Altadena. It's not, I'm going to do this and it's only for those that go with our builders. First of all, they're not our builders. We're presenting these people so people can know who they are. And if they want to work with them, they can. But if I can get all these people that sign up on the list and want to be ready to volunteer, I don't care where it is. I don't care what builder it is. We're going to give them the waiver that relieves us or that builder of any liability. And we're going to be there to help build these houses. So really, we are doing everything that we can. And because Altadena is so large as far as land mass and what has to be built back, let's do what we can to partner together, because guess what? Our area of influence is going to be different than yours or yours or yours. But if we can all come together to make it work and get our community back a little bit quicker, then that's what we're about. So yeah.
And you're gonna help us.
I knew where you were going with that.
You're right. We shouldn't have to address it, but I want to make sure we do, just so that people understand where we are coming from and what we're about. They should know if they watch this show at all. But in case anybody is wondering or questioning, you really don't have to do that. Just come talk to either one of us.
We're always watching. We're always here. You got our email info@altadenatalks.com. You can go check out our endeavors at np.altadenatalks.org. That's our nonprofit. Or you can go to altadenatalks.com/nonprofit. And that will let you know about all of that.
All of the above.
All right. Well, I have a meeting in 9 minutes. I don't have to drop right this minute, but that's what actually pays the bills. You know how they say we got to do this commercial break to pay the bill? No, actually my job, my real job that I do.
Yeah. Why do you think I was up all night?
Exactly. I got to actually have a meeting at 11:30 to 12, but I'm glad we got to at least chat about a few things today, as we will the next few days. And then I'm excited about seeing everybody on Saturday. I'm excited for a full house.
Great event.
Yeah, I'm excited for the full house. All the builders so far, they keep texting me. They're super excited. They're ready. And I'm telling them, okay, don't forget, I need you to bring this, or I need you to do this or whatever. And they are on it. So they're definitely ready to come serve our community too. And you get to see them and hear from them themselves, not just, oh, I'm from LA. I want to come and make some money. Because all these builders actually have a heart for Altadena, whether it's a direct connection or they feel drawn and led to serve. For them, it is about that service. Excuse me, y'all. I keep adjusting this. My shoulder is killing me. So this is a heating pad that I have on, because
those things work really well.
When you got 5 monitors and your body is doing all kind of stuff, you know, Brian, me and you are doing the same thing today. Like my neck and my shoulder are killing me.
My neck been hurting for a month, but ever since the fire,
because I'm like, I'm gonna get frozen shoulder if I don't stretch this out. So yeah, I've been sitting here for 2 days with my heating pad, and I have to adjust it.
I'm about to mount a little 32-inch right here to get ready to start using the second monitor again.
You got to do, because I got all 5, and I'm still like, I can't see how you're doing it on 1.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I mean, it's like I cannot work right there.
The worst.
We got too many spreadsheets and everything else that we got to do.
I had one monitor turned long way so I could look at spreadsheets. I had another one that was kind of,
and that one's 27. And yeah, I could not even imagine. And like you said, flipping it the other way, I can't imagine having one monitor. That would drive me up the wall. I couldn't function, for real.
We got spoiled with the multi-monitor situation.
Hey, in tech, that's what it is, though. Like, And you being in sales, like that's what you can't work with no one monitor. It just doesn't work.
I started my career off at a long distance carrier, and I had to watch 40 monitors. So I had this long table with the 40 monitors
All
right
of
there.
them.
Was 22 on each row, so 20, and I'm rolling the wheel back and forth. And you just got to keep watching these monitors until you see one
Jamal, how
stop.
many you got?
And then
Right
when that
now, I
one
only
stops,
got one,
now
but
I
I
got to
had
go
3.
into Unix.
Oh, that's right, because you're up there. That's right.
I
That's
gave
right.
up my room for our oldest, so she could
Okay.
my office for our oldest, so she could have her dedicated room. So I'm like, every day I have to close my stuff up, put it away, and then when I come back, I have to open it up and set everything up. So I just got the one monitor, but it's a 17-inch monitor for a laptop, so it's better than what I was
Nothing.
doing a
I
couple
got a
weeks ago.
17 and 2 13s, and then this 27 and 32 inch. I'm telling you, bruh, I wouldn't be able to function with
Oh, I can't wait to get back to it.
I
cannot
know.
wait.
I know.
I use the TV.
That's
Oh
good
yeah,
too, 'cause
every
you
now
can
and then
break
I'll
it up.
stream mine too. Yep.
Mhm.
My computer actually is so funny because I'm sitting here and I go, I really need a second monitor. And I looked at that TV going,
That's an 80
we're in
inch.
the-
Let me just plug in.
right. And I was like, yeah, and I did. I was like, oh, I'm back.
Right. That's what I do sometimes too. I'll go and get my HDMI cord and plug it right in the back, and I'm like, there it is, and do my splitter and all that. Quickly make sure to go get checked out from your doctor, especially been on the ground. Oh, okay.
True that.
Yeah, I have a doctor's appointment this afternoon, but I know what this is because I've had rotator cuff surgery. And this shoulder.
I know what mine is too. It's from looking up at the monitor all the time. Then you have to lean your chair back. Then it's still. I have to get up and walk away. That's why every 45
But
minutes.
you're right, Zaire. We got to stay on top of the health because, man.
Excuse me.
And I'm always in my tie vac if I can, and boots and my mask and gloves when I go out. But I did go with Brandon. Then we walked around and didn't have stuff on. So,
well, and to that point, we'll share some information that we just got from one of our fellow Mustangs who actually is certified for hazmat, and we have like instructions and all this kind of stuff. We'll share that both on here and put it on the website as well. It's actually really informative.
Elaine, yeah, let's connect. Call me or whatever. Because
I think that ends our show.
We need to collaborate and kind of collapse some things as we move forward, so that it's not all these different ones, but that we really are sharing resources when it comes to builders, even going, as we begin to progress forward. So, all right, I got 4 minutes. I'll see y'all later.
I'm so glad we had this time together. We'll see you later. Oh, goodbye.
What you do?
Adios, y'all.
All right,
peace, you guys. Have a great day. See you.